Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm going to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kwadash, double honors unto the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity. All right, it's the brother Ayat coming back at you through the spirit, pushing this gospel unto you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the children of Israel, also known as the chosen people of the Heavenly Father. All right, remember the gospel is for us, man. You know, those that are mourning and those that are, are in captivity, man, looking to soon be released, man. You know, released off from under the basis of man and just released from the condition that we are in, which is a condition of us being overtaken by these curses, man. All right, so anyway, we get into it, man. Because things that are taking place around the world, man, should just continue to be eye openers for us, man. Which should continue to have us pondering and thinking and meditating on scriptures, man. You know what I mean? Which is what the scriptures gives us the stability of our times, man. Helps us keep the right state of mind. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna get right into it, man. It says going on with the shooting that just took place with the Edomite, the so-called white man. He shot I believe it was 10 so-called African Americans and wounding 3 others, man. But I'm gonna get right into it, man. This is the governor's words. She says, "Lord, forgive." She says, "Lord, forgive the anger in my heart." It says, I think her name is Hokul, vows to battle hate, gun violence after Buffalo massacre. You see, so we gotta just put this out, man, because this hate, this form of hate that she's vowing to battle against. I'm gonna read a little bit more. The article is based on so-called it was hate speech from the so-called white man. I guess he was on online talking about his disgrace that he had about immigrants. You know what I mean? So basically, man, let me grab this really quick because this is what I'm going into. 2 Corinthians 2:11, man. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we're not ignorant of this device, man. As at least this government talking about they're going to go against. They're in a battle against hate speech, man. And they're saying the hate speech can basically end up turning into a gun massacre, basically. So that's how they're going to look to identify us, man. They're going to identify our speech as hate speech, and they're going to say, hey, these are threats, because this hate speech can turn into us, having a massacre, shooting up a lot of people. Ultimately, they're talking about us shooting up the so-called white man, because ultimately, they don't give a damn if we're shooting each other up, it's many and many diss songs that so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the children of Israel in general, make about each other, man. Rap songs about what they're gonna do to each other in broad day, and it's all good, They still get booked at these concerts and sell out these venues, and it's all good. But ultimately, they're out for their own. So let me read a little bit more of this article, man. It says, let's see. Okay, just read a little bit. It says, New York Governor Kathy Hochul pledged to crack down on gun violence and the proliferation of online racism. See, after a white man wearing military gear opened fire at a Buffalo supermarket. Wearing military gear. That's Esau Edom, the white man's MO, killing 10 people and wounding 3 others, and act being investigated. 3 others in an act being investigated as a hate crime. All right. It says, let me get to the point I wanted to bring out. I read the part she's talking about. Forgive her for the anger she's feeling. Okay, this is the point. It says the shooter, who was identified as Peyton Gendron of Coquitlam, New York, drove about 200 miles to Buffalo for the attack. You see, so they're using the same angle, thinking about us. Okay, we got to take them down because these niggas might drive 200 miles. You see the narrative, which he made public on live stream platform Twitch. You see, authorities said he was fueled by a racist and anti-immigrant agenda detailed in the manifesto that emerged online shortly after the incident, which included elements of a far-right conspiracy theory. Right, that's another stab at us. They're going to dock up their charges on us as us on some type of conspiracy theories, man. Right? It says alleging what? Alleging white Americans are at risk of being replaced by people of color. You see, and this is the so-called white man's deep down. This is really how he feels. He's going to be replaced, and he's going to be irrelevant and no good of use. But he's right and wrong. He's right that he's going to be replaced because the so-called white man is going to be taken out, man, going to be exterminated, going to Obadiah 1:18. But he's wrong because he's not going to be replacing how he think he is. He's thinking, oh man, they're going to come and take all the jobs and be no job for him. No, man, you going to have a great ass job working hard as hell, man, for the children of Israel, man. Going into Revelation 13:9, man, he that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity, man. And we're going to rule over our oppressors, going into Isaiah the 14th chapter, man, right? And we're going to treat them just the way they treat us, man. Do I have them? I think it's Isaiah 14, maybe around the 20th, 26th verse, I believe it says, man, these heathens going to be working hard as hell, man. And we're going to take credit. Like, oh, man, come home, to our significant other, saying, hey, man, damn, it's been a long day. I've been working hard. And really ain't did shit. You've been given orders. And that's how we're going to be treating the so-called white man. So, he don't have to be, the so-called white man doesn't have to be worried about being totally replaced as far as his job's sake. We're definitely going to have plenty of jobs for him. All right, so from there, I want to get into Isaiah 45th chapter. Just want to read just a few things that have highlighted, man. It's Isaiah 45:3. It says, and I will give thee treasures of it's like this is going into let's just read it and then I'll show you what it's going into. And I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord, which call thee by thy name, am the God of Israel. So this is just going to, man, continue to do what we have to do, man, showing, having that love for Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because as we're going into 1 Corinthians 2:9, we can't really comprehend what the Heavenly Father has in stores, man. So this talks about the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places. So things that we haven't even seen yet, the Heavenly Father is going to give unto us, man. Verse 4, for Jacob my servant's sake, right? We are the servants of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man, and Israel mine elect, right? Because we know going into Matthew, the Heavenly Father is going to send His only begotten Son and the angels to gather what? His elect. And it said you right there, Israel is the elect. That's a cut for Christianity. I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. So the Heavenly Father gave us a name, man, of Yasharallah, man. Prince of the power, man. We're Prince of God, man. Princess of God, man. Okay? Verse 5, I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me. You see? So even when we didn't come into this truth yet, Heavenly Father had already set it up, man. I'm gonna show you, man. You didn't know me at that time, but these are things I already had in store for you. It was already written. You see? And the Father just gave us understanding and put our attention and the want to read and understand and comprehend. All right, verse 7. I form the light, I create darkness, I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So you see, the Heavenly Father, ultimately, you know that's an evil act that took place with the guy, shooting the type of weapon he was shooting at. That's an evil act. But the Heavenly Father has created that act, man. All right, so that just ultimately puts fear into the hopeful elect, man. That Heavenly Father send that sword after you, man. You can be at the grocery store thinking you're gonna get the 2 items and go, and that sword will come down, man. You see, which is Psalm 17 and 13 tells you that Esau Edom, the so-called white man, which is the wicked, is the Heavenly Father's sword. All right, 2 more verses I want to get into. Verse 14, Isaiah 45:14. Thus saith the Lord, the labor of Egypt and the merchandise of Ethiopia and of the Sabians, men of stature shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine. You see? So when these are all these heathens, the so-called white man, the so-called Africans, the Ethiopians, all these other heathens, man, they're gonna be ours. So we're gonna have plenty of jobs for you, man, because we ain't gonna be working. You gonna be doing the work. They should come after thee in what? In chains, right? In chains. So that's the most thing he should be worried about. Don't worry about immigrants. Get worried about them chains. And chains they shall come over, and they shall fall down unto thee. They shall make supplication unto thee, right? Looking to please us, man. Saying, surely God is in thee, right? And there is none else. There is there is no God. So they're gonna know all these false idols that they worship and these fake images is not God. They're gonna know the God of Israel is inside of us, man. So that's part of that shame that's continuing to cover their face, going into Obadiah. I believe that's the 10th verse. All right. It says, this is the point, verse 20. Assemble yourselves and come. Draw near together, ye that are escaped of the nations. You see, and that's us, man. We have the hopeful elect has escaped of the nations, man. Not physically escaped there, but mentally, man. We don't want to be under no nation. No nation could come and present us a bag of money that will be sellouts, man. It says those that are escaped of the nations, they have no knowledge that set up. Oh, yeah, it's like they have no knowledge that set up the wood of their graven images and pray unto a God that cannot save. You see, so that's what's going on, man. You know, we not gonna be we're not thinking about any knowledge that we used to have of these graven images, man. You know, we fully comprehend that those gods, those cannot save, basically. You see, only power that can save is the true living power, man, which is the Holy One of Israel. All right. Let me see. I'll leave it at that right now, man. I want to probably get into some other topics in my next video, man. Just point out the fact, man. You see what's going on. And just be careful and keep your eyes open with that narrative, man. Because we know, that perpetual hatred is there. And the traps are laid, man, for Jacob, man, that we may fall in them. But the Heavenly Father has us out here on a mission, man. You know, spotting out all the traps and giving the warning to the children of Israel. All right, Lord, we're going to be able to continue to push. Shalom.